Hey guys, wanted to give you a quick update. Currently, the markets don't look real good to me, and that's why I haven't been posting much. I have been posting on my Twitter, some shorts, some longs, but I think you have to be careful in the current market, just what's going on. Bitcoin doesn't look too strong. A lot of the other indices, like the S&P, and um, you got things like Nvidia falling off a cliff, and it just doesn't look real good right now to me, especially with inflation and the things that I know from economists that we're going to see a drop, or at least, at the very least, more sideways until maybe October, November. I did talk to somebody that I know, a good friend of mine that's in, he's kind of an economist himself, and he knows a Dallas Fed person, a former Dallas Fed, and he was just saying that, yeah, going into October, maybe into the start of next year, we're looking at likely they're going to keep the Fed rate high. Yeah, it may plateau after one more raise, but they want to keep it high to fight inflation. And then possibly by the middle of next year, we're looking at them having the rates come all the way back down, hopefully. He can't guarantee that, but he thinks that's kind of how it'll play out. And that sort of ties in with April 2024 being the Bitcoin halving. So that's just a quick update on that. I want to show you just real quickly this chart that I'm keeping an eye on. And that's the reason I'm not really into any longs right now, is because this thing's overheated to me. And all this is, I've showed it before, is Bitcoin price, which is this blue line. It's divided by the USDT and USDC dominance. So I've added up both Tether and USDC together, the dominance of those, and it's divided by Bitcoin. So that's what this is. It looks like it's coming down here. But this blue line is Bitcoin overlaid on it. And then this one down here is actually I have to bring that up to show you what it is. It's by TED Talks Macro. It's which one is it? I think you can either use this net USD liquidity or the USD market liquidity, either one. Oh yeah, that's a different one. What I use is the USD market liquidity. And the reason why on a weekly chart I feel like it works pretty well is, you had this big move up all the way until the second high, the second peak, and then you started getting this red saying that liquidity was coming out. But there's other factors on here that you can look at. So let me explain those real quick. The top two red lines are basically when the market is redlining, it's getting way overheated and it's going to come back down. I did make a note here that you can wait for a full candle to close below this lower red line, kind of like it did back here. Full candle close below red line. This was the first peak in what was it, April or May of 2021, before it had a dip and come back up. And then this one closed below the red line here too, and that signaled the final, this move of going back up was done, and then you would have had to wait all the way down to here for another bottom. So the top two lines are overheated. Top two green lines down, or the bottom two green lines down here, are where you would buy. And then also this, I've showed this one before as well. This is divergence for many indicators V4. If you just use the regular setting, which is right here, the divergence type regular, don't use the hidden. Here's my settings. You'll get some pretty good signals here, where this signal to top, this signal to top, and currently it's signaling one right here. You can go through here and clearly see that the bottoms and the tops worked out pretty well. But as far as the liquidity down here, anytime this turned from red to green, recently anyway, it did have a pretty good bottom. Here's another one where it switched and that had to move up. Here's red to green on the weekly. It moved up from there. And then recently we've had a move from green to red. And you can see liquidity is coming out. And you could look at it like higher lows and all that, which this would be a lower low from this one currently. So if you wanted to look at it in those terms, you could say this is looking very bearish. Of course, if you hold right here and you come back up on the liquidity, then you're fine. But I mean, there's not enough information there for me just yet. And like I said, this is real overheated right here. It's at the top line. When it got to the top of the line back here, yeah, it did stay high for a while, but it didn't really make any significant progress on the Bitcoin price, which again is that blue line. And it's overlaid perfectly with all of this information here. So, if that doesn't make any sense, just watch it again. You'll get it. I know it's a confusing chart. You've probably never seen anything like it before. But, like 4 or 5, 6 months ago, what was it? May. Oh, well, I guess it was much sooner than I thought. Anyway, back in May, I had drawn this, what I thought was going to end up being a head and shoulders. And then it was going to come down. I don't know what timing would look like on that. But I really have just thought that October was going to be a down, real depressing time for the market. So I would suspect, August, September, October are going to be at the very least sideways or down. And I don't know what that target is. Some people say 10K, 12K. I don't know that it'll get that low. Maybe it won't. Maybe we'll just come down and make like what, 20, 21K. What would that be? Yeah, about 21K. It could come down to that and then bounce back up. That would be the full retest of this breakout right here, although it did retest here a little bit. Anyway, just some thoughts that I had. I know I haven't been posting much, but I feel this is a lot of value right here. You can get a lot from this. You can watch this chart. If you want to, have this chart for yourself, I will post it on my Twitter. Again, my Twitter is right here, bike for sale, at bike for sale. And actually, I'll just go ahead and post that right now. So I'll just use this and share. Share chart. So check that out if you want to see it. I'll try to make as many updates as I can, but I just think people shouldn't be trading long right now. Personally, I mean, that's what I'm doing. Of course, that's not financial advice, but just be careful. Don't let the market fool you. There's plenty of times to jump back in when things look better. Okay, y'all have a good one. Appreciate it.